Hey guys, thanks for being here. If you'll just give us one moment, I've just had to create a new space. It wasn't letting me open the one that Shib had created. We'll just allow some time for everyone to join, and wait for Shib as well. I've approved you to speak, Dane.
Sounds good, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. It's been a minute.
It really has. I don't know what was going on with that. Every time I would try and start the space, like Shib created it, and every time I would start it, it would just crash Twitter. So I had to create a new one.
Yeah, I can't even do it for my phone. I'm looking forward to an Elon upgrade a little bit more, baby steps, but it's going to be exciting. I think to see the difference between now and like a year from now as far as what Twitter Spaces looks like.
Yeah,
Because you can tell it's evolving so much, man. Like it's already these crazy spaces that people are seeing with like Kim.com and Mario's channel. It's nuts, man. So when you can actually search through them and index them a little bit better, I think it's going to be pretty neat as long as it stays in its current path.
for sure. Look, I've got someone. I'm just going to invite Shib to co-host. Oh, there he is. And I'll get you co-hosting as well, Dan.
Sounds good, man.
All right, that's done. And then speakers, I'll approve Mike. Hey, Mike, if you're here. SquidGrow Joe, if you're here, I'll invite you to speak. Sam, you can be a speaker. Anyone else? Oh, Papa. Anyone else that would like to speak as well, please just Shib, you've requested to speak. I've put you up as a co-host. I've approved you anyway. Yo, Shib, are you there?
Yeah, sorry, my Twitter was acting up. Also, will you approve Bad Anthony for speaker as well?
Yep. Where are you? Bad Anthony. I sent you an invite, Bad Anthony.
Yeah, I just saw him on here. He must have humped off.
All right, we've got another request.
Ardub, I can't tell if it's you or Shib, but one of you guys has a little bit of static noise in the background.
I think it might be me. It comes from me on Twitter, I think. So I'll just mute myself in 1 second. Yeah, I'll let you guys take over for the minute. I'm going to mute myself, and then we can kick it off.
Sounds good, man. Yeah, it's not bad. I was just letting you know when the mic's open. It's got a little bit of cracking, but I can hear you perfectly, so you're all good there.
Okay. All right. What's going on, everybody?
Oh, man, just couldn't ask for a better Saturday night with the SquidGrow fam in the middle of such a interesting time that we're in, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I hope everybody's doing well out there. Hang on, let me get comfortable and put some Copenhagen in real quick.
Yeah, I need a cigar, man. It just feels like a cigar night. Cigar and a beer too.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really wrong with cigars if you get a good one, but I'm not much into the inhaling shit personally.
Yeah, no.
Left that in my teenage years. All right, so we got Joe, we got RW, Mike Miller, Nathan Hill said he was going to try to make it. Let me shoot a message right quick and see if he's going to jump on or not. Let's see.
Nathan's UK time, isn't he? I think he's like Probably 4 a.m. for him over there, roughly.
Not sure. I know every time we talk, though, we usually get off the phone about 6 a.m. his time. We're usually on the phone for several hours when we.
Oh yeah, true. This might be prime time then.
Yeah, it might be prime time. Let me hit him up. Okay, hang on. Let me grab this link real quick. I'm going to drop it in a room.
So look, I just want to thank everyone for coming today. As Shib said, it has been a while since we've had a solid VC or a space. And I guess it's not just completely random that we're having a Twitter space today. Like there are a few things that we would like to talk about, and some exciting stuff some things that I think you will all find quite exciting as well. So. We'll get into that shortly.
Yeah, I think so. Bad Anthony's running errands right now, so he'll hop on when he gets a moment. I have not heard back from Nathan, and I hit up. Actually, let's just see if they show up. I don't want to throw any names out there. I'm gonna one more name.
I see Funny Donald in the house. Yeah, congratulations, man. Back on Twitter. It must feel nice.
Oh, we got to approve him to talk.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't know if he wants to. I didn't want to put him on the spot. But yeah, I think that was pretty funny timing.
Yeah, I caught his video that he just posted the other day. It fucking always cracks me up.
I just approved you, Donald.
All right, let's see.
Well, I gotta say, I'm so happy I'm releasing little squid babies out of all the holes for my beautiful body. So happy about it. The thing is just that all these squid babies are going to make more squid babies, and we will literally see squid grow all over the place. Quite frankly, this is strong news. I've missed you. I've missed you all. It's been forever since I've been on an AMA, and I love this.
It has, man. And after winning a vote fair and square like that, you think you got like 15 million total votes came in. That was insane.
And the Twitter bots tried to ruin me. The Twitter bots tried to get me, but you know what? The community was stronger. And the bots, they were never my people. The bots were never my people. They didn't like me. I was trying to build a cyber wall around them and contain the bots. I don't like bots.
I don't think anybody in my community likes bots either. There, Donald.
No, I call them mail-in bots. Those are very similar to those mail-in bots. That's what we should call them. I think Elon was playing 4D chess with that, though. I think that might have been his goal, was to hit that vote and to kind of starve out the bots, because they couldn't resist.
I'm usually stealing that, by the way. I'm usually stealing what you just said about mail-in bots. That was genius. You're hired. You're hired.
Sweet, man.
All right. Well, I think let's just get down to business. I haven't heard back from a couple people, so don't want to, time rug anybody. So I guess R-Dub Dane, I guess we get into what we have to say first of all, and then take questions, that type of thing.
Yeah, man. Let's get to it. I know a lot of people probably have stuff they're doing on Saturday night, so some of them maybe will stick around, but other ones probably just want to get to the meat and potatoes. So why not, man? Kick us off, Shib. I got you.
All right, guys. So everybody knows the Ethereum bridge has been done for some time. We have held off on deploying the ETH contract, but I can now say that the ETH contract has been deployed. The contract ID has been inputted into the bridge, and we are just having a couple final checks of the bridge just to make sure that we have done everything in our power to make sure that it's secured. So with that being said, I think how we want to go forward with the ETH project, and I've been talking to R-Dub and Dane quite a bit. about this. So I think not in any particular order, but I think that what we will be doing is obviously be doing a marketing campaign, letting everybody know that we are coming out on ETH. I think there is talks of utilizing, Dane, I believe, Unicrypt. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're looking at several options with launch pads. We want to have, the biggest, best one. Whichever launch pad we do go forth with, we're looking to get the full support of them so they can help us push it and make it, like a main event on their end. So, whatever path we choose, I don't want to say Unicrypt for sure, but that is where we're leaning. I think it's going to be one that attracts a lot of attention for sure with what else we have planned in addition to that.
I have also contacted the exchanges that we are on about marketing campaigns. I've heard back from 2 of them thus far saying that they can oblige. So one thing that we weren't sure that we were going to put out to the community, but I did talk to RW about it previously. So I did want to let everybody know that when the time comes for the ETH, we will give the community the ability to swap in BSC tokens for ETH tokens at a percentage increase. We are not set in stone the percentage gain that you will receive. We have to just finalize numbers and make sure that we're not going to overstretch anything. But essentially, you'd be able to swap in 1 squid token for an increased gain on the ETH side. So you'd have an instant percentage gain there. Again, we've got to go over the numbers just to see. This is something that came about several months ago in the whale room, something that the whales said that they would like to see, as we have some whales that have said that they will go 100% to the east side. This is beneficial in the way that it also allows the project to accumulate tokens for the treasury, so we can go ahead and proceed with everything we want to do, and it also gives the holder the benefit that they accumulate a better position on the east side as well.
Also, Shib, it will greatly help to reduce volatility during this process, because we know there's a lot of people out there that are dying to get on ETH.
Yeah,
and we don't want to see them dump on the chart.
Yeah, exactly. So by doing this, hopefully we'll negate anybody wanting to sell their BSC position to buy the Ethereum position, because they'll have the ability to actually swap their tokens in for an increased rate. So there is hopefully bypassing, any volatility with somebody wanting to sell and buy the east side. With that also being said, we probably will be running this in 2 different phases, maybe more. Dane, do you want to speak on that?
You're talking about the specific of the ETH, like people going BSC to ETH, right?
Well, how we plan on actually launching this with the 2 different phases. The first phase, and then the second phase being like a launch pad.
Right. So I'll touch on it a little bit and stop me if you want, Shib.
Okay.
So the thing that we want to reward our community members, of course. So the people that are wanting to get on ETH to add to their bag, or to switch tokens as mentioned, we want to give them ability to do so for being here so early, because you are early. And so to do that, we'll be doing a competition of sorts, details to come soon, essentially whitelisting you into that ETH raise. And that ETH raise is an ILO. So it's important to note that aside from the tokens that are going to be going to Satoshi so that he can use for exchanges and promotions to come in the future, which are crucial to not only getting on those platforms, but also being able to have a functioning bridge. The other token, those tokens will basically allow us to have liquidity on that chain without Satoshi having to spend, $500,000 to do that. We're not going to give the specific amount yet as what we're looking to raise. We'll still have to work that out with the launch pad that we go with. But that's pretty much the exciting part, is that you'll have a chance pretty easily, if you're here now, to get into that whitelist should you want to go on ETH. If you don't want to go on ETH and you're happy to stay on BSC, you can do that as well. All the things that we're doing with this whitelist, with this raise, it's really so that we can have as much stability as possible between the 2 supplies at launch and going forward. So that's the first phase, is the whitelist. The second phase, that will fill a bit of the public, of course. And at that point, all the marketing that we do will essentially go to boosting that awareness and making it something that people that have been maybe on the sidelines not wanting to buy BSC SquidGrow, now they'll be able to hop on ETH at a slight advantage over the launch price. And again, all that stuff is going to be determined right up until the day of, as far as what it launches at, but they'll be very close. So it'll disincentivize anybody to go back and forth swing trading between BSC and ETH. And we'll also be working with our market maker, CLS, at the DeFi level to make sure that things are very stable between the two supplies. So I think that's important to point out. But essentially, in a nutshell, to round out that answer, so that was a bit long-winded, is that you'll have a whitelist version, and we'll be running some contests here. And then right after that, we'll go into the public sale version, which is an ILO on ETH, and the launch pad is yet to be determined.
Okay, guys, so I want to address something as well. So when I first announced the bridge, back when our market cap was a little smaller and liquidity, I'm sure some of you are thinking, well, Shibtoshi said he was going to match liquidity. Obviously, I have the ability to match liquidity, but if I do match liquidity, there is no incentive for anybody buying early. There is no percentage gain or, buying slightly under listing market cap. It will be same market cap, same price, and it'd be essentially the same as buying BSC right now. Utilizing the community in this way gives everybody, the opportunity to better their positions. And also, something that we are discussing about doing is, and I'm only mentioning this because we're really strongly leaning towards this, is how we're thinking we want to do the Ethereum chain is we will take our lowest trading exchange market cap and decrease the initial market cap by a percentage. What I mean is, so if our lowest market cap is 5.5 million, we launch Ethereum at 4.5 million, 4 million, something like that. And then when the when the market cap on the ETH side is equal to the BSC side, the bridge would then go live. Obviously, it can't have a bridge live with a much lower market cap on one side, because that would open it up to an obvious arbitrage, and people would be able to buy on one chain and instantly make exit on the other side. So again, this is to benefit the community. It also allows somebody to get in at a much lower market cap. For those that got in at a higher market cap, it's just kind of incentivizing the community is what we think, is how we think we want to proceed with it. I'd love to hear some feedback on this. We've only talked to some trusted whales about this, but I'd love to hear from the general community on that.
So would I, honestly, and this is what we're here tonight to do, is talk to you guys about it, and any concerns you have, we want to address those. But the cool thing about this too is not only does it give you a chance to better your bag and get a slight advantage on the ETH side, and as well as reduce some of that volatility when you have the two chains going live, it also allows Shibtoshi to spend, per se, that matched liquidity on some other fun surprises that we have coming. Obviously Shibtoshi has been extremely great to us thus far as what he's spending for this project and to all the things we've done. But it's just the beginning, and this benefits everybody. We ask a lot of Shibtoshi, so I think being able to come up with most of that raise for liquidity as a community and to the general public is something that's going to be very popular when it goes live. And so this allows us to do other things. Rather than having to just fork over $500,000 to liquidity. Although, as Chip said, that's if we ever needed to, if there's some type of issue, we'll make sure the liquidity is there. It's not an issue, but we want to give everybody a chance to get in at a good range.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is that we're all aware, anyone that's participated in pre-sales before, is that there's this sense of excitement around, getting into a project before it actually launches. And we've talked at length about this as a team. And something, excuse me, that obviously SquidGrow would benefit from at the moment would be a bit of hype. And we think that, by launching Ethereum, in a sense, it will be SquidGrow, the project that will bridge to the BSC side, but it will have this hype associated with the pre-sale, almost like a new project. And with that will also come, the hype that comes with a new launch and a chart going upwards, which I think is something that we can all appreciate. And is something that we all can acknowledge will be good for SquidGrow as a whole. But look, if I know I can see one person, Satoshi, has requested to speak. We've got a bunch of other speakers up here. If you want to comment on, the things that we've just addressed, and if anyone else would like to ask questions, please just throw your hand up and we'll approve you.
Yeah, well said, RW. People on ETH, being an ETH degen myself, they like to get in early. It's the projects that are having the most success, specifically on the ETH side these days, are coming from really deep connected alpha groups. And if you're one of the degens like myself, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So it's important to give these guys a chance to get in the way they like to. Because, for instance, if we go onto ETH and all of a sudden we moon up to 20 plus million, which I think is very likely given what we've seen happening on ETH with some specific tokens in the past week, a lot of those big whales that would like to come in during an opportunity like this might not have that chance if we didn't do some type of ILO raise. So this really gives them a chance to get in and to get their positions, and we want them on board. We want them support. We want new whales, and doing so, they'll turn into new shillers. They'll turn into new holders and diamond hands for us that will help create this ETH army on this other side. We've got the BSC side, I think, locked down as best as we can. I think we've set the bar over the past 6 months, certainly on the BSC side alone. It's now time for us to foray into the ETH, and we want the ETH army on our side, and this gives them that chance. So I'm excited for them to have that opportunity and to go out and promote it to them over the coming weeks and get this thing popping over there, because it's quite obvious that in the past couple months, ETH has been where the action is. And so, that's where we're going to go. So, guys, Mike, Anthony, Satoshi, you got the mic now as well. If you guys want to pop in, comments, got questions, let's hear it.
I'm just listening for the time being, and when she wants to talk about NFTs or anything like that, just tap me in. All this stuff is awesome, and I'm glad to hear it. I got a lot of SquidGrow in my wallet, and looking forward to everything that's coming up, man. I do get some inside information. Shib tells me stuff privately, but
Yeah, guys. With the NFTs, with the market tanking the way it would be, I don't think it would be the ideal time for the project to launch that now. And with the marketplace is done. As we were doing our final review on it, there was a few things that we wish we had added originally. So we're having those things added to the marketplace currently. And because it's been some time since we've done anything of substantial, we decided we were just going to go forward with the ETH. I've been a little hesitant with, ETH potentially being a security, but at the same time, whatever's going to happen with that, I'm sure it'll happen far down the road. So I don't want to, sit on that for longer than I need to. So we really felt like, as a project, this was the best time to do this. And now, we're talking about ways that it could benefit the community. So we've developed this plan, and as I said previously, I would love to hear what the community actually says. There's a few trusted people that I talked to that I have bounced this idea off of, and everybody seems to love it. And again, this kind of stems from a conversation VC that we had in the whale room months ago when we were discussing the bridge. And, I told the whales, this is the option we would probably most likely take. So now that it's out in the open, I'd love to hear some feedback.
Hey guys, while we wait for requests, I just also want to add, going on to ETH, security issue or not in the future, you also never know how they may go after CZ, for instance. So by us diversifying onto these two different supplies, two different chains, it actually, in my opinion, is a boon to our security, because rather than having all our marbles in one basket with the BSC supply and our exchanges that have BSC tokens, we're now going to have both on all the exchanges. So you'll be able to do deposits and withdrawals once we get things sorted. And ETH is where a lot of giants are. That's just the reality of this market. It came around in 2018. BSC, in comparison, was basically 2.5 years later before it heated up. So it's going to be exciting for us. You've got to look at it as a first-time investor's perspective onto the ETH platform. Very, often there's rugs. There's these days it seems like there's just rugs. And a project like ours, it's proven itself. It's KYC to so many entities, the exchanges that we're on. It's a lot less of a risk than what people are used to seeing when each project goes live. So it should be an exciting opportunity for those guys to be able to get in at a good entry. And it honestly couldn't have worked out, in my opinion, more perfectly. Unfortunately, our market cap goes down, but that actually does help this process get a little bit easier for us. So, I think it's going to work out great. And once we're on that chain, we're going to start seeing some fireworks. I have really, really high hopes for that, and I can see it coming to fruition very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really add to that other than the fact that I'm freaking hella stoked it's coming on ETH. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna ETH maxi, but most of my stuff is on ETH. Most of the stuff I invest in is on ETH. So it's like, I couldn't be happier.
We're happy to have you, man. It's like, and again, from their perspective, not only a proven project coming onto ETH that they're able to get in at a low level, but also a project with Mike Miller on there, right? Like that, right? Not even getting into Satoshi, the exchange plans, the marketplace, the future things that we're going to do. Just having Mike on board, right? Like that would moon any project on ETH, especially a light pre-sale ILO raise like this. So yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure, and I think we're going to have our hands full next week, making sure it gets out to the public the way it deserves to be. But once it's done, I think we're going to be very happy being over there.
I guess I should then introduce myself to anybody in the audience that doesn't know who I am. So I'm Mike Miller. I've been doing NFTs for a couple of years now, but my claim to fame is I've been a Marvel, DC, Game of Thrones comic book artist for the past 30 years. My best known project was Injustice for DC Comics, which was the #1 digital comic in the world for about 5 years straight. And then, I did all the other Batman and JLA and blah, blah, blah. 30 years, I can't name everything. But yeah, and so I've been primarily doing NFTs for about the last 2 years. And Satoshi, we met through a mutual contact, and he told me what he was doing, and I was like, sweet, let's do this. So now we're all part of the team now. If you have any questions for me, let me know. Whatever. I'm good. I'm here. I'm just drawing, so.
Thanks, Mike. I've approved a couple of people that have asked to speak. Did you guys want to, Luminous and Satoshi and not Steve Jobs, did you guys have questions to ask?
I don't have any questions. Just wanted to say thank you for building on blockchain technologies.
No problem, Satoshi. Thanks for being here, mate.
Yeah, guys. Thanks for letting me speak. I don't really have any technical questions for you guys. I think you guys are handling everything from my perspective, man, as well as it can be done. I'm just super hyped about this project. I love everything I see in the Telegram group. I love all the participation I'm seeing on Twitter. I'm really excited to see how much I can get involved on the east side of things. I got into the project a little later, like late October. So yeah, I'm just waiting for that, man. I want some of Mike's NFTs. So there's nothing negative I have to say. Everything I see is just awesome so far. I know it's kind of cheerleader of me right now, but yeah, man, I don't have a bad word to say. I'm just really impressed with how you guys are handling everything. So keep doing what you're doing.
I
Hey,
want
thank
you to have my NFTs too, so we'll get there.
Awesome, buddy.
All right. Anybody have any questions about ETH or the bridge? Anybody want to touch base on that?
I'm surprised. Hey, I thought we would.
Yeah,
I
for sure.
mean,
Especially with kind of like the questions in the Telegram.
it's
Um,
definitely.
so I don't know. I mean, maybe there's people that just don't want to dox their voice or whatever it is. I'm trying to pay attention to the Telegram group to see if anybody's dropping questions there. But I would encourage everybody to just voice any questions you may have now. It's a little easier to address things that way.
Hey, Shiv.
Hey, how's it
Can I?
going?
Yeah, bro. So, like you said, we will be able to swap the BAC SquidGrow to the ETH side, right?
Correct. Yes. Well,
Yeah.
whatever amount that you want. There's not going to be a restriction on what you can swap in or cannot.
Yeah, bro. So, would that require a whitelist to do that?
No. So that is going. So essentially, how we're going to do that after we have done our 2 phases, we will offer to the whales and to the community the ability to swap BSC tokens in for ETH tokens. Obviously, to make it a little smoother, I will have my devs build something to keep better track. So essentially, you trade your tokens in, and you get your tokens back in ETH with the percentage increase.
Yeah,
You know.
it keeps it fair this way as well. Having a DApp basically that we can control, it removes the margin for any type of people trying to, let's say for instance, there's 1 minute where BSC takes a hit, and then all of a sudden someone buys and wants to convert to ETH, and they buy and when it converts to ETH. With the DApp, we can control that parameter a bit more, make it a one-time thing. Make the person essentially kind of give the Telegram handle, and it makes everything a lot more where we have some control of it. So that type of stuff is not possible because we know how the DJing world works, and everybody's always looking for an arbitrage or an edge. And this way, it keeps it very secure. And again, reduces that volatility between people that want to get off BSC and go to ETH. It essentially does that behind the scenes so that there is no damage to the chart on the BSC side and us having to, buy in and pump that back and forth with craziness. It's a good question, Steve. We appreciate that, man. I have a question for you, Shib. I'm sure everybody's wondering, and I'll just ask it rhetorically. When launched?
As you and I have discussed, we are planning on hitting the ground running relatively fast with this. I have deployed the contract. The contract ID has been inputted into the bridge. So as far as getting things going, we are going to hit the ground running pretty quick. I did want to talk about our plans to the community to give everybody the ability and chance to speak on it. But at the end of the day, the project is going to do what we feel is best for the community and for the project. But with that being said, we are open to feedback on the moves we plan on making. So I thought it was important to hold this space, talk about our plans, and give everybody the chance to speak up on it.
So obviously, just so everyone knows, like we don't have a specific date or time right now, but with what Shib just said, and what Dana's just said as well, we are in talks with different companies about where we would like to hold our ILO raise, and through that is where we will actually decide on a date. Once we've decided on a platform, we will then be able to decide on a date and those finer details, and we'll be able to release those into the Telegram and on Twitter as well.
Exactly, and that's on that note. Chib and I did talk about this with the date and when it's coming. We've been talking about the bridge now since basically August. And this is not something that's going to be another 5 months off. This is right around the corner. This is topic and agenda number one for us, and I think it's the perfect moment to do this while the market's sort of in turmoil. Because when we get going again, and our liquidity has doubled and tripled and quadrupled, it obviously makes things a bit harder to match between the ETH and BSC side. So this works in our favor, and we're going to, I think, have a really good shot at having almost the exact same liquidity on ETH as we do BSC at launch. And even if it's not at launch, it'll be, I think, balanced very quickly after because of the volume that we get. And again, taxes going straight to liquidity.
All right, I've just approved Rung and Kosh, if you guys would like to speak.
Hey, good evening. This is Ron. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you guys. So I just want to say one thing. I really appreciate it, Shib and the team. You guys been doing great promoting, especially with these hard times. So for me, just one thing regarding the referral, right? So you put the referral in, I want to say about a month ago. How do you track on the referral the percentage that you get? You say lifetime. And then how do you transfer the referral if they go into the ETH bridge and they have an ETH wallet? How does that transaction out and how do you track that referral?
Okay, so the referral works in the way that, okay, so let's say you give me your referral, and through your referral, I'm staking. Anytime I harvest my rewards, your rewards are automatically transferred to your rewards. And then my rewards obviously become yours. But unless I harvest my rewards, you will not see any percentage gain until I actually harvest. And as far as transferring your referral, you won't be able to transfer between chains. You would have to issue a new staking referral on the east side, and then they would have to stake on the east side. You can't have somebody staking on ETH and collecting rewards on the BSC side, and vice versa.
Okay, great. So I totally understand, Shib, and I appreciate that feedback, right? So how do you track that? So like if I go to say I'm a referral, I got 3 of my friends or family using my referral link. How do I track the percentage on the D app that we have? What percentage I get? I know you mentioned that,
Yeah, you would essentially have to be checking your BSC scan. And I
I
actually
see.
was just checking into this for somebody else yesterday. So I'm assuming on your D app, it does show that you have several referrals, right? It does show.
Yeah, it showed. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It showed me a
Because
number of like 3 referral, but
okay.
I just want to see the percentage. You say there's 2% or lifetime.
Well, it's
What
two.
is that
It's two.
percentage?
It's 2% of their rewards that they gain. So
I see.
essentially, you're not taking rewards from them. You are being allocated the 2% of the amount of the rewards that they are collecting. So, for example, if they, have earned 1 billion tokens, you get 2% of that billion tokens, but it doesn't come out of their allocation. It comes from the contract itself. But
Yep.
it only triggers when they do a harvest of the rewards.
Okay, I totally understand. I appreciate that, Shib. That's what I thought it did. But could you make it simpler from the D app? Maybe somewhere where the person who's promoting it, given that the wallet address, doing the referral, could we track it without looking the BS scan? I know probably could do just like a
I'm
percentage.
sure. No, I'm not going to say it can be done. I'm sure it can. That's something that I can talk to my devs about implementing something like that. But as of now, the only way to track that is through the BSC scan, and you just essentially look at your reward collection, on the BSC scan and what's going into your wallet at that point. I literally had this conversation last night with another whale stemming from another whale that's saying that he did 2 referrals and it's showing 0. Some people are not really understanding how the referral works and they're doing it improperly. So it sounds to me like the people that you sent your referral code actually utilize that because it's showing on your end. But moving forward, I'm sure we can add that feature into the interface. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
that would be much of a problem. I
Okay.
do need to check into that. Obviously, the only thing I have personally checked was the percentages on LP staking after I was told that the decimal issue was still persistent. So I staked LP, and over a 24-hour period, came to the conclusion that the decimal was still wrong. So then we had that fixed. So as far as the team goes, we are not interacting with the staking contracts. I do not allow my team to stake their tokens, even on a personal level, if it's their personal bag. So there was some trusted whales that we had test, and made sure everything was working. And the devs as well, they did the testing to ensure that the referral was working properly. But for a more clean interface, so you can better keep track, I'm sure there's something that can probably be done, but I just need to check with the devs to see if that can be implemented.
Okay, that's great. So, Shep, I really appreciate that. And to all everybody's listening, I mean, just to talk to the owner, the developer of the team for the project is amazing. Sometimes you can't even touch that person. So, Shep, I really appreciate that. For me, for one final question is, so I do have a ETH wallet, so I'm gonna keep my SquidGrow and the BSC in the BNB side, and then I'm gonna have it on ETH also when it's available. What I want to do is also do a referral. So whatever you
Yeah.
say that it's gonna be done on the BSC
Yeah.
side,
So
so I
the
could refer my ETH whale or my ETH partner that they could also use this when it's available.
correct. So every utility that the BSC has, the ETH will have equal.
Okay.
So there might, in the beginning, obviously be a bigger incentive to, say, stake your tokens on the east side, debuting the staking pools, so on and so forth. I'm sure that we will come up with some kind of incentive to get people to, stake over there. But every utility that we currently have on the BSC side, the ETH will have the same. And this is kind of one of the main reasons why Mike Miller's collection is going to be on both chains. It's going to be on BSC and it's going to be on Ethereum as well. So we're going to be catering to both chains. So this plays, hand in hand, goes hand in hand with, launching the Ethereum chain. And as everybody knows, I'm super excited about going to my home turf. I mean, everybody that is kind of in the east side, they know it's definitely a lot less selling over there because the gas fees are a little more money. Right now they're reasonable, but there's definitely a lot less more arbitrage and sell pressure on the east side. So I just think it's the perfect time to launch this and get this going, and again to try to mitigate any sell pressure that might come about. We are going to be giving everybody the ability to trade in BSC tokens for ETH tokens at a percentage increase to try to negate anybody from trying to sell the chart and then go buy Ethereum.
Awesome. So from my side, I can say a lot of my friends and family are excited about that. So we got some folks that are truthfully true ETH. I've been trying to convince them to join the BNB side, but they are full ETH, and they're excited about it. I mentioned about your story and the magazine and everything. I have a couple magazine myself, physical magazine. So they see it. They say okay. So they're looking forward to it. So Shib, I really appreciate the bridge and the team working on to put that through. So so I'm gonna be holding both wallet, BSC side and also the ETH side, which I have, but I'm looking forward to it for Mike Miller NFT and also the Genesis for the BNC side for Squid Boys on the first side. So I just want to say thank you. Looking forward to it, and cheers, man. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Ron.
Thank you, Ron. And real quickly, before our next question from the audience here, we got one from our Telegram audience and text for you, Shib. He wants to know, will there be any tax when switching through this unique way from BSC to ETH for people that are wanting to do that?
No, there will be no tax. You will not be penalized. So you will. That's another incentive. It's another incentive that we've come out with. So essentially, if you were to try to sell BSC tokens and buy ETH, obviously you're going to be taxed. So you're going to be losing out the gate. When you are trading BSC tokens for ETH, there will be a 1-for-1 plus the percentage increase. So there will be no tax on it. It will be just essentially over the counter type of transaction.
Awesome. I'm gonna type that out for the guys in the Telegram. I also, for anybody listening that doesn't want to get up here and talk, feel free to join our Telegram and type out your question in there, and I'll try to ask Satoshi or address some of those myself when we see him. So, anybody else? Kosh, you up here, dog? What's up? Let's see. One more requested. Let's see. That is Crypto Seagull OG. You are approved.
Hang on, guys. Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure I was reading the correct.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
The Telegram chat correctly. Yeah, so the bridge will be whitelisted. There will be no tax to ETH. So I'm not sure if that is the question Dane was just reading, or if he was asking about the over-the-counter swap from BSC to Ethereum.
So over the counter, is that taxed, and is the bridge taxed? So I guess people are wondering about both now.
No. The bridge is going to be whitelisted. You will have to pay the gas fees on both sides. So you'll have to pay a gas fee transaction on BSC and the gas fee transaction on Ethereum, but there is no tax. The bridge will be whitelisted.
Awesome.
So as standard bridges, you don't normally pay a project tax crossing through the bridge.
Hello everyone, can you guys hear me?
No, the Dusty Bag asked, will the Ethereum chain automatically be staked? No, you will have to physically go in and stake your bag. We cannot control and approve your wallets to interact with the staking contract, so that's something that you have to do manually, Dusty Bag.
Yeah, and while we're on the tax question, someone also wanted to know LP, people that have the LP on BSC, can they switch to the ETH side, or will they need to unstake the LP and break the tokens apart essentially?
Yeah, unfortunately, because the pair has been made in Pancake Swap and it's paired to BNB, our bridge is not set up in the way to transfer LP from one side to another. You would have to actually go into the east side and create your LP pair over there.
Yeah, that would be a pretty insane thing if you could pull that off. I've never seen that anywhere. It would you essentially have to split them and interact with the two different DEX engines to make that liquidity change.
We looked at trying to do that, but it's far complicated.
Seagull, go ahead, man. I know you were trying to get a question in, if you still want to.
Yeah, hi. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Hope everyone doing well. Basically, I had one question about how we're going to integrate the ETH and BSC onto the current exchanges, which have listed us. Like 11 exchanges are there. If somebody is trying to transfer some of the tokens in terms of arbitrage opportunity, I'm trying to say here. So if somebody is transferring each side to the current exchanges, how will they be able to do that? Like, how will this be integrated once the ETH goes live? Because right now it's possible because it's one chain, which all been listed there in different exchanges. If ETH goes live, how will that work with centralized exchanges?
Well, unless the ETH token is listed on the exchange, they won't be able to utilize the ETH project at all on that exchange.
So will there be another listing for the same exchanges if you're going to try and do that for the each side of the tokens? Will there be another listing for
that would be like once the bridge goes live, we can activate the ETH token on the exchanges, and then it won't create that opportunity because the bridge will essentially, destroy that arbitrage by evening them out.
Okay. Okay.
Correct,
So if
but
somebody try, yeah, yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
no, so I was going to say, in the beginning, as we started listing exchanges, one of the first questions that we were talking to them about was going to ETH with the bridge. So the exchanges, majority of the exchanges that we are listed on will accommodate us and listing the Ethereum chain as well. So, it's a very good probability that, we will be able to list majority of the exchanges that we are currently listed on with the ETH token. As far as the arbitraging goes, obviously we will have our own bridge, and that's with that alone is going to bring arbitrage as well, which is also a good thing in a sense, because if one side pumps, people can arbitrage over to the other side and accumulate more tokens on that side. Arbitraging the bridge is, kind of a common thing. I do have the ability to launch my market makers to keep the prices exact equal, but that kind of takes the fun out of having a bridge, in my personal opinion. I can make it to where the prices on both sides are one of one, essentially. But for the overall ecosystem, that's a trump card I'm not planning on debuting with right away. But we will see how things go. But everything's essentially been set in place, if that needs to happen. But those that have been in projects with bridges kind of know how it goes. If one side pumps, for example, if your bag on the BSC side's worth 10 grand and your equal bag on the Ethereum side is worth 15 grand, on that side, a lot of people arbitrage and sell on that side for profit, and then go back to the lower side and accumulate a bigger position, or they accumulate the same position and pocket profit. This is something that we can't control with a bridge. There's arbitraging from exchanges and arbitraging through bridges, but I think it will be healthy for the project in this situation.
Yeah, so just to follow up on that, nothing against the arbitrage. Basically, it's actually good for the project to even out the price, and always listing on more exchanges and bringing more eyes through different bridges is always good for the project. I have nothing against that. But only just to follow up on what you just said, if the current exchanges decide to list also the each side of the project, how will that be shown in their exchanges? Will it be just one SquidGrow where both prices averaged out and it's shown there, or will it be like two different SquidGrows can be traded simultaneously? So just had a basic doubt. I had no clue how this functions once BSC already trading there, and if the ETH goes live, how will that trade? Will that be the same same SquidGrow there as USDT, or how will that be? Just a basic question.
So I can't speculate on the exchanges, but I would assume, for example, if you transfer in BEP20 USDT and you transfer that into the exchange and you trade that, when you withdraw, you have the option to pick the chain that you want to withdraw on. You can either withdraw on BEP20 or you can withdraw on the Ethereum network. I'm sure it'd be the same with ours as far as the exchange goes. So the exchange is essentially going to be one liquidity on the exchange, and because they have both tokens on there, you will be able to actively pick which token you are depositing into their exchange and what token you want to withdraw from their exchange. So you could realistically use the exchange as its own bridge if you wanted to do that, but obviously you will incur the exchange's fee that they implement to utilize that, versus our bridge, there will be no fee. Most exchanges have a fee to interact with them, deposit, withdrawal. So you could essentially use the exchange as a bridge if you wanted to deposit BEP and transfer that out as Ethereum. But there will be a fee, as I said. Utilizing our bridge, there will be no fee. But
Okay, great. So, yeah.
Sorry.
So essentially, you mean to say that if somebody transfers from the each side, there again in the exchanges there is a separate pool of each tokens, and then if somebody transfers that from each to BIP20, then that has a separate pool. So there again, it stores in either of the chains, and so that supply is always balanced out. That's what you're trying to explain, if
Yeah.
I'm right.
And again, I can't speak to the inner workings of every exchange, but as for example, now if you want to transfer BEP20 Ethereum into one of the exchanges, you go into the exchange, you find Ethereum, and it gives you the different options for the chains that you can deposit. In this situation, you would pick the BEP20 Ethereum chain, you would deposit that chain into the exchange, and upon withdrawing, you have the option to pick what chain you want to withdraw that token on. And then you would pick, obviously, ERC20, and you can withdraw your tokens on the Ethereum network. Does that make
Great,
sense?
awesome. So that all, yeah, yeah. That's, which means the trading will show just one SquidGrow.
Correct.
It
Correct.
all
It's not.
happens in the background. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
All
So
this
it's going to
happens in the
be
background.
one liquidity on the exchange. It's not. It's the same project. It's just a different chain. So just like
Yeah,
every other token that's listed on the exchange, you don't see two different charts for BEP20 Ethereum. What you see is Ethereum USDT, because that's what exchanges use. They use USDT on the exchange as far as what it's paired to. And because of that, you can withdraw what chain you want to deposit in and what chain you want to withdraw in. So it's one liquidity, one project on the exchange.
absolutely. Thank you so much for explaining that. Thank you very much.
Let me address some of the questions we've gotten in Telegram here. In the meantime, I answered a few of them. Someone wanted to know, will there be any opportunities to invest in ETH early for those already invested in BSC? If you're just tuning in, you'll be able to do that with our BSC to ETH D app, essentially a automated process that will be deploying at time of launch to help people in the whales and in our community get over to the ETH side at no tax, one-to-one, basically. It's without having to create volatility in the BSC and dump the chart and hurt people over here. And secondly, you will also be able to get into a whitelist. Just stay tuned to our Telegram and Twitter over the next week, and we'll have more details on that. And so you'll have basically two ways you can get into it: as a new buyer or as an old holder wanting to just get your tokens on ETH. What else was there? Oh, there was one more question for you, Shiv. I think you touched on it. Will we be taxed another 2% to stake on the ETH version? I assume that's yes, correct?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you wanted to consider unstaking your BSC to swapping to the ETH version, keep in mind that you will have to pay that 2% entry again to get it back on the ETH if you're switching.
But as I said earlier, I'm sure the project will do an incentive, as we did when we debuted our initial staking pools. There will be a higher APY on one side versus the other. And that is
That's awesome, man. I didn't even know that. So be incentivizing people to lock up these tokens, essentially.
Correct.
Very cool. I think it's all quiet in Telegram unless I overlooked any. Apologies if I did. Just retag me. Anybody else wants to pop in and ask you questions? Fire away.
One thing I did want to say, as I spoke to my CFO about this, before pending the conclusion of this Twitter space in the next several hours, the buy tax will be reinstated to 4%. So if you want to get your 1% buys in, now is the time. We've been running it for several days now.
Yeah, so we'll leave it open for another couple of hours after the space, and then we'll put up an announcement in the Telegram just letting you know that it's going back to 4%. I've just approved someone else to speak as well if you want to ask your question. And I've got another request. Matt Wallace. Matt Wallace is here.
Nice.
Hey, Matt, I've just approved you. How you going? Oh,
Okay. Well, I'm sure he'll speak when he is up to
Hey,
it.
yeah, so when it adds someone on, they can't hear for the first few seconds sometimes, so I couldn't hear what you said.
Hey, how's it going, Matt? Welcome to the space. I'm happy to see that you joined.
Yeah, of course, it's going good. It's a crazy day for college football. I've been watching a couple games today. A lot of upsets.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I missed those.
What team you rooting for?
What upsets were there, Matt? Fill us in real quick for our American audience, because I've been so focused on SquidGrow all day, I haven't even looked, to be honest. And I thought there were a lot of mismatches today, so that'll be interesting.
Oh yeah, they're absolutely worse. So South Carolina is currently beating number 5, the 42-31. I have that game on mute right now in the background. Then Georgia Tech beat number 13 North Carolina, and it's just, I think there's one other one, but I forget which one it was. But yeah, it's pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah, did TCU hold up, or did the Baylor crack them?
TCU, that was a really fun game. At the very end, we saw they ran onto the field in one of the stupidest things I've ever seen. So just spiking the ball, and then somehow they got the field goal off with like 4 seconds left, and ended up holding on against Baylor just by 1 point.
Oh man,
pretty crazy.
They got a bullseye on their back.
Oh yeah.
When you're undefeated, man, the nerves for that, it's like, regardless of how good you are, everybody wants to beat you like nothing else. So good for them, man. It's they're in a tough division regardless of what people say. So it's impressive to see them still being undefeated like that.
Yeah, it is. So how are you guys doing? What's the latest on SquidGrow? Put some money into it, hoping it will go up. And I know you guys have been working hard on it.
Okay, so I guess let's just do a recap for Matt. Dane, you care to fill him in, or do you want me to handle it?
Sure, man. Yeah, stop me if I start rambling, because I can tend to do that. But yeah, I'm sure Matt's not the only one just tuning in, so we'll go back through what we've announced. So basically, it's been a long time coming. We announced back in August, basically, that we were going to launch onto ETH at some point and have the bridge done, and we have had it done this entire time. But obviously, there's a lot of turmoil with the merge as far as what people actually expected to happen and all the different disaster forecasts. And then, of course, we've been in a pretty brutal market. So we've been biding our time to do it, but we feel like now is the time. So we're gearing up a big marketing push, as well as just getting ready to let the world know that we're going to be on ETH. It seems like where most of the fun is these days, so we want to come over there and join in the action. And we're going to do it in a fun way, too, to help our BSC holders. So that's kind of what we've been going into detail about, is how the process will look. And we're going to make it as easy as possible for guys that are already holding the BSC token, basically, to come onto ETH and get one-to-one tokens through a DApp, no tax. So there is no reason why you need to just dump your BSC bag and then rebuy on ETH and pay tax twice. You'll be able to do that through our app that we put out shortly before launch. And we'll also be running a whitelist campaign to fill that ILO raise on the ETH side. And so essentially, yeah, we'll be launching very close to our current market cap on ETH, slightly cheaper to give the ETH people an edge over there. And basically the same liquidity as well.
Yeah, I just want to circle back real quick. So we will be doing a 1-for-1 from BSC to Ethereum, but there will be a percentage gain if you opt to trade in BSC tokens for Ethereum. So you will be accumulating more tokens for doing that as another incentive for anybody to make that move. Just trying to incentivize people, to not sell their BSC tokens to buy the ETH side. You will have the ability to swap BSC for Ethereum and gain a percentage, a set percent that we have not decided on yet to make that move. In addition, the utilities that the BSC has currently, the Ethereum will also have. And when it comes to the staking contracts, I'm sure we will incentivize everybody with a higher APY initially for the Ethereum side as well. As we did when we first debuted our staking contracts on the BSC side. We had much higher APYs and have since scaled those down for sustainability. So we were just kind of talking about how we were going to go about doing it. We're going to offer, several months back, the whales asked if they'd be able to trade in BSC tokens, and also if there would be some sort of pre-sale, private sale that they could get involved in. So obviously we're still currently working out the details, but we plan on doing an initial liquidity offering, working also with the exchanges that we are currently listed on to achieve that, and then possibly some sort of pre-sale. And I plan on taking our lowest market cap on the exchange and decreasing that by a to be determined percentage that we will launch the Ethereum chain at. So it'll allow everybody the ability to actually buy the Ethereum at a lower market cap than they could purchase anywhere else, to try to, bring some FOMO back into the project and gain some hype. I'm very excited to be going to my home turf. It's been a long time coming, but with the whole merge, as Dane said, I just kind of wanted the dust to settle a little bit with the whole Ethereum chain. And then it came out that, Ethereum might be a securities. So we kind of weighed our options on that, but I don't want to sit around for the next several months, possibly years, waiting to see if that determination is going to be made or not. So this is as good a time as any, and since we're coming out with Mike Miller's NFTs and they will be on both BSC and Ethereum chain, I think it's probably a good time to get this ball rolling. So the Ethereum contract has been deployed. The contract ID has been inputted into the bridge. I'm sending that to the auditors to have one final check of the bridge. And how we plan on moving forward is the Ethereum chain will have a lower market cap than BSC, but the moment that the Ethereum market cap is equal to the BSC, our bridge will go live.
Nice. Okay. And yeah, that was actually one of the things I initially remember asking you about was the Ethereum bridge, because it's one of the things I was on the more excited side about when it comes to SquidGrow. I'm sure most people, if you do know me, I'm mostly a big Dogecoin fan, and I also like finding other fun cryptocurrencies that could potentially go off. And when I saw someone send me a message, Jim actually from T King, he said, "Hey, did you know that the biggest sheep holder made a coin?" I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." And so I ended up putting some money in, and I reached out to Shibtoshi, and he's been asking me to come on the show for a bit now, and I've been looking for an opportunity to do so. So I'm glad I'm here, and it's interesting to hear about your project. And obviously, if it does, if the Ethereum bridge is successful, I think that could certainly be really cool for you guys. And do you think, so when do you think that will kind of really take a hold and start having a big impact on SquidGrow?
So we're going to be hitting the ground running with moving forward with the Ethereum chain immediately. We just wanted to talk to our community about it first, with how we planned on moving forward and proceeding with it, to get any feedback on the process. We just wanted to give our community the ability to do so. So there hasn't been too many technical questions about that. We've had a couple in referring to the exchanges and the bridge, but we are looking into the options now on how we will achieve this. But,
yeah, we're touching base on the marketing side. Essentially, this is our announcement publicly that it's coming very soon. Like I said, we've been talking about it since August, but this is now in the front of the list. It's something that we want to get done here while the market's sort of calm, because obviously it makes things easier to transition. And the cool thing about this, in my opinion, as someone who was an ETH maxi well before BSC in the DeFi world, I like to get into projects early, and then tell my friends about it. It's just how the nature of the beast is. And so we'll be able to give a lot of these influencers that we'll get in contact with, as well as you'd say average investors, a chance to get in a really good entry on the ETH side, and position themselves early as they should be able to. You guys here now, in my opinion, are super early to a project that has rockets all over it. And this gives you a chance to come over there, and if you're not holding now, be able to get a really good entry through our BSC to ETH DApp or through the whitelist, and make sure that your position is where you want. And then from there, we can start having some fun marketing to the ETH guys that we have been sort of out of touch with, that Shib knows very well from his past.
Nice. And yeah, one of my most successful investments ever was on the ETH chain, which was T-King. And with that, I picked it really, really, really early, and it has kind of some similarities, I think, to SquidGrow, because a lot of people were excited with T-King about the TV show coming out, Tiger King season 2, and what was relating to that. And so with SquidGrow, obviously, everyone, of course, is going to be looking at what's going to happen when SquidGrow season 2, or not SquidGrow season 2, Squid Games season 2 comes out. Could potentially be fun to watch in regards to that. But yeah, that's one of the reasons also why I'm looking at this coin and trying to figure out what's going to happen with it, because whenever there's that type of big publicity event with a TV show, sometimes it can lead to people wanting to go and invest in cryptocurrencies. And I call some of them, I try to at least, early on patreon.com/Matt Wallace, which is my community. And I actually made a post about SquidGrow a while back, when you guys were still kind of in some of the earlier stages of the coin. And so it's fun to see the development over time until now. And I haven't officially endorsed SquidGrow at this point, but I do think it's a really fun coin to watch, and I think you guys have an awesome community.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. And we'll hopefully get that endorsement at some point. Later down the road when you are comfortable. We'll get to talking a little more and pick up our previous conversation and go from there.
Look, did anyone else see that? There's someone in the Dogecoin community that came on just to leave thumbs downs because I'm not exclusively talking about Dogecoin, and I will say it's a bad mindset to have. I mean, yes, Dogecoin is in some ways my baby. I love talking about it. I'll never ever stop being a massive Dogecoin supporter, but at the same time, I mean, we gotta have some fun. Let's look at some other coins. It's the crypto market. Everyone wants to make money. Everyone wants to have fun. And if you're just having a one set mind track, if that even makes sense, that's a new phrase. I'll invent it. I'll put it out there. A one set track. If that's what you're having, then you're not gonna have as much fun. And
there's nothing wrong with diversifying whatsoever. It keeps you safe.
And Doge is king, man. Doge is king. We all owe it a bit of gratitude, to be honest. It paved the way for meme coins, and for degen plays and for altcoins in general for the past decade, basically. So, it just, I think it's silly when people get mad at stuff like that. I've had that, being a marketing guy myself. People get mad at me like, "Hey, he's talking about something else." It's like, yeah, diversification is healthy, man. If you're in one thing, unless you're some huge Bitcoin maxi or ETH maxi, I think it's very good to diversify.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I will say as well, if at this point everyone knows crypto's risky. If you don't love a coin, don't invest in it. If you like it a lot, you can put some money in and understand you can lose some money, you can make a bunch of money. At this point, I don't think there's really too many naive people in crypto. Everyone kind of has an idea of how it works and what the risks are. And so I think it's a little bit demeaning of crypto holders to say that they aren't able to interpret risk themselves and aren't able to make that bet themselves, because I think most people in crypto are, and most people do know how to actually find opportunities that have higher upside than risk. And when you do that on a consistent basis, you can make a good amount of money from it. And a lot of people do that. And the people who don't are getting better, and eventually maybe they will be able to do that. So I think that's kind of the best mindset to have about it. I can't stay on too much longer because I'm about to go eat some dinner. But I will give a quick shout out to my Patreon, patreon.com/Matt Wallace. If you want to be hearing about crypto opportunities early, and if you want to be checking out stuff like, for example, I call it SquidGrow in the early stages of it, as something I was looking at and something that could be a good opportunity. Like I said, I didn't officially endorse it, but I'm certainly looking at it. And if you want to find other opportunities like that and see cool coins and other updates that you can't see anywhere else, definitely check out patreon.com/Matt Wallace, or you can go to mattwallace.io and join either way. But yeah, I appreciate you letting me come on and letting me do a little bit of showing for my own personal thing there. And I absolutely will be watching what you guys are doing. And as the bridge starts to take a hold, and as we wait for season 2, I think it'll be really, really fun. I mean, I guess before I get off, I'm going to go ahead and pass this over to you. I don't actually know when season 2 of Squid Games is being released or what the details of that are. I imagine you guys would probably know that better than me. What are the details of that?
Shiba. So one of the things is sort of an elephant in the room that you mentioned on is the fact that we have kind of an indirect association with Squid Game. So obviously the names are very similar, and so is the logo. But there's nothing really official in that capacity. But I think you are right. When that does happen, it's going to create somewhat of a wave because we'll be the main Squid project for sure. So I'm looking forward to when that happens. But in the meantime, our focus has really been on what the utility is that we're bringing. As mentioned before, we've got Mike Miller here in the audience, who's been with DC, Marvel, Game of Thrones, Injustice. He's been one of their main guys, an NFT artist for many years. He's got the NFTs made, ready to launch when it's time. It's best for us to do that. And then we've got a full blown exchange coming as well. And those things are very close to being finished. And we wanted to get on ETH prior, but it's a very unique launch because we've got all those things lined up, but it's not like it's a first time project. We've been around, we've navigated through this bear market as best we can. We've KYC to top exchanges. We've got Shitoshi, who's a legend in the space, and I think just an emerging legend in the space. So a lot of good things to look forward to. But yeah, SquidGrow and Squid Game, that's just another one. For certainly will be exciting. But as far as a date on that, Matt, I stay pretty in tune with that because I'm just a fan of the show, to be honest. And I think we're still a ways off, like end of 2023, before we see any action. But it's not far away. Year goes quick.
Yeah, it is my understanding they did just put out a trailer for it.
Nice, and I'm.
I've not.
Oh, good.
I've not personally seen it yet. But I heard it was pretty decent. So I'm pretty excited about that, just because I'm a fan of the show as well.
And even regardless of any relation, I think it's just going to be fun to watch the show on its own because it's a really good show. And I do think it's good that you guys are making sure to put a distinction that you guys aren't like officially related to them. But obviously, when there's a bunch of searches for something, sometimes it can cause things even with unofficial relation to benefit from it. So I imagine everyone in this community is hoping that happens, and I'll certainly be watching. I know everyone will, to see kind of where that goes. But anyway, I appreciate you guys having me on. I'll certainly stop by again at some point in the future if you'll have me, and we can discuss things further, and you can update me again once we have more to talk about.
Hey, Matt, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks, man.
Have a good one, guys.
Thanks, Matt.
Cool. So, Bad Anthony, what's up, man?
Shib, what's up?
How's it going, man? I'm glad you were able to make it.
Yeah, man, I'm just doing some grocery shopping, but I'm excited, man. Excited about everything we talked about here. The ETH bridge. I'm excited to get SquidGrow at these prices right now. Although the bear market this is my first bear market, so I've spoke to you on the phone and asked your advice. And were other bear markets like this? Just kind of picking your brain on that. But yeah, man, just staying positive over here, picking up some more SquidGrow as the market cap is at what it's at right now. So yeah, I'm excited, man.
Nice. Yeah, bear market comes around every year about, and every 4 years it seems to have a pretty bad, several months. And I think this is on track to be similar to 2018, 2019. And, Bitcoin fell from 21,000 down to 38 and some change. And everybody said it was going to zero, but we all know what happened. It pumped up to $67,000. So, it's only a matter of time. If this is your first bear market, it can be a little unsettling, but, it's just kind of the process of the market conditions. It goes down, it goes back up. Me personally, this is my time where I'm accumulating. I look forward to the bear market every year, although, seeing your portfolios lose value is kind of gut-wrenching at times. It is a prime time to, do your accumulations. And if anybody's heard me talk about my portfolio, I am pretty down on my overall portfolio. But again, this isn't my first bear. and I know how it goes. So just trying to take these discounted prices and accumulate, and you'll be thanking yourself later.
Yeah, dude, that's pretty much what I'm doing right now. Just accumulating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just that dollar cost average, man. You're going to be thanking yourself later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd echo that response. This is my second bear market too, and yeah, dude, if I'd have had as much faith in crypto last bear market as I had this bear market, it's like your first bear market, you're always kind of scared, and then your second bear market, you're like, yes, discounts everywhere. So
Amen. 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 And guys, I don't wait for the bottom and try to just buy the bottom. Dollar cost average is the way all the way down, all the way up. I mean, Bitcoin is one of my favorite coins to buy. I have just recently switched to Ethereum. I am accumulating Ethereum because I'm satisfied with my Bitcoin position as of now. But I just buy, on the way down, and it's dollar cost averaging. If I buy at $1,200, then Ethereum drops to 900. I'm buying all the way down anyway. So at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter when the price goes back up. Even if it just peaks at all-time high, you still made money. So I mean, this is just kind of the mindset of long-term crypto investors. The first bear market is kind of unsettling. It's kind of a kick in the stomach, but it does come back. So
yeah, make sure like the altcoins that you really, really, really believed in. I mean, they're so freaking cheap right now. You can you can pick
I
up
mean,
No,
yeah,
definitely.
for a
I'm
couple
doubling
bucks
down.
right now.
even NFTs, guys. I mean, I dropped a month and a half ago 300 grand on NFTs. Lost 150,000 in value on those NFTs. I mean, you can legit buy Bored Ape Yacht Clubs for like $60,000 right now. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, why don't you grab me one of those, Chip?
Okay, well, if 60 grand's out of your price range, you can buy Mutant Apes right now for like I think $10,000. I mean, I paid $25K for one of the Mutant Apes that we're giving away, and you can legitimately get them for like 9-10 grand right now.
Wow. Yep, that's the way it is.
Yep. So I mean, take advantage of the price discounts while you can.
Yeah.
Because you'll be regretting it later.
Yep.
And that's not just referring to SquidGrow. That's any of your favorite projects that you have believed in. You should be diversifying. That's how I personally operate. I just kind of buy my favorites. And I didn't see the market tanking as fast as it did. Obviously, anybody that knows me, I lost a lot of money playing futures because I was not counting on the drop to happen like it did. But with that being said, you can always dollar cost average your way back in, and make money down the road.
Yeah, one ETH is one ETH, one Bitcoin is one Bitcoin. This is discount time for me. So
Yep. Amen to that.
Hey guys, going back over to the question from Telegram. We got one person asking about when the BSC side pumps, will the ETH side pump? And when the ETH side pumps, will the BSC side pumps? This is a pretty common question. I imagine we'll get, Shib. So we can dive in a little bit.
Yeah, so the Ethereum and the BSC side are essentially they're separate entities. It's all under one umbrella of SquidGrow. They have their own liquidity pools. How the prices will balance out between the two chains is arbitraging through the bridge. So obviously, since our market cap is substantially lower right now, if the Ethereum market cap pumps to 10 million and BSC is 7.5 million, obviously there's going to be people that are looking for arbitrage opportunities that will use the bridge to arbitrage to the Ethereum side, sell on the Ethereum side, which will then drop down the market cap on the Ethereum side. And either they will keep their profits or they will transfer it back to BSC to buy a bigger position. on the BSC side, and just wait for the opportunity to repeat. Obviously, there's a group of there's a vast majority of people in the crypto space that look for opportunities like that. So, I'm sure it's going to be a very common occurrence to be doing that. But if one side pumps, if I do 100K buy on the BSC side, it will not necessarily pump directly the Ethereum side. It does have its own liquidity pool. So, the buys taking place on that market affect that market alone. It balances out with arbitraging of the bridge.
And with that, on that note, I guess in follow up to his question, is there any type of market making that we plan on doing that we can touch on now, or do we want to hold off on that?
So, as far as market making on the bridge,
well, market making between the two chains directly, like is that CLS that's handling CLS being a marketing partner for those that don't know, CLS is officially partnered with SquidGrow and one of the top 5 biggest market makers. We work with them very closely for our exchanges. So I guess he's wanting to know, are they going to have a hand in sort of balancing the two chains directly without use of the bridge, the way you would see on an exchange?
Well, obviously, so I just renewed my contract with CLS for 6 months. So they are indeed our long-term partners. We have spoken in the past about running market making on an individual chain. At the time that I talked about it, it was BSC. I'm open to the idea of running market making on the exchange or on BSC and Ethereum, but I have not decided on it. I have spoke to CLS about market making on the bridge to keep the prices the same. They have the ability to do so, but that is not something I've made my decision on. I think that instead of debuting with market making on the bridge, we will see how it goes. And if I feel that we need it to benefit the project, then at that point, it would go live. But I don't want to take away the ability to arbitrage sides using the bridge. That's kind of the whole. There's several purposes to the bridge. Obviously, I want to get to the east side. I want to get to east support. Obviously, we can list on exchanges much easier when we're Ethereum token. There's exchanges that you can't list on at all unless you're ERC. So there's a lot of benefits to utilizing this. Obviously, arbitrage is probably going to be a thing on the bridge. And as I stated, I don't want to take that opportunity away initially unless I absolutely need to. But as far as market making on each individual chain, that is something they have the ability to do. But I have not made the decision whether or not to do that or not. The thing that conflicts me, as I've stated before, is in order to run market making on one chain or another, I would essentially have to commission CLS to buy on the chart, which is a good thing, but then they would have to sell on the chart as well to create that volume. And if I want them to increase the price, obviously, say, 5% a day every day, they have the ability to do that. Obviously, it's a money thing. But the running market making on the bridge in that aspect, they would not allow the chart to pump higher than the percentage that we set previously, unless I tell them to just cease that day. So what I'm saying is, if we set the standard that CLS is going to increase the chart 5% a day every day, they will not allow the chart to increase higher than the 5%. So that means if the price pumps higher than 5%, they are going to sell the chart down to keep it at 5%. So if it increases 10% in a day, they will sell it back down to 5%. And that is something that I am kind of conflicted with because I don't like the idea of, the project doing sells on the chart. Obviously, I'm running volume bots. I activate them from time to time. They are active now. But it's not for a profit. Anybody that has the addresses, which are publicly posted in the Telegram, can see that, 9 times out of 10, the bots are upside down. Generally, there's 1 or 2 that seem to accumulate more tokens than the rest of them, but any profits obviously go back into the chart. But because CLS would be needing to, sell down on the chart, I'm kind of conflicted about that idea.
No, that's a good answer, man. It's something that we can certainly illuminate over time as we come to those decisions. We don't have to have all the answers right now, but the main thing for the person asking the question to know is that when the BSC side pumps, there very quickly will be some type of arbitrage from a user on the bridge. There's going to be some type of arbitrage where each side also pumps shortly after by someone trying to go back and forth between the two to make a little bit of a gain. So you kind of get both sides pumping effectively. If you ever watched I believe top 3 tokens that come to my mind. This is a recent example. There was Kiba, there was Floki, and I think Volt. All 3 have BSC and E sides, and if you watch their chart, you'll see a mirror action back and forth when there's big buys like that.
Yeah.
Okay, another one for you, Shib. I think a bit easier one. Someone wants to know, when someone bridges across, are any tokens removed from circulation? And I know the answer to that one. That is no, we don't do any burning. But essentially, he wants to know, I guess, in more detail, like where did those tokens go exactly, and what will they be used for?
The tokens are stuck in the bridge. We don't have an ability to extract tokens from the bridge. So if you're transferring over 1 trillion tokens on the BSC side, you essentially leave those tokens at the entrance of the bridge, and you are allocated 1 trillion tokens on the opposite side. But tokens are stored in the bridge for people to, receive as they travel back and forth from the bridge. So essentially, the tokens are out of circulation. They cannot be purchased. They can only be back in circulation if somebody is then utilizing the bridge and collecting those tokens as they exit the other side.
Right on. That answers that. And one more pretty easy one. Someone wants to know, when they are staked on BSC currently, but they want to migrate to ETH, can they unstake half their bag, or do they have to unstake their whole bag to migrate over if they only wanted to partially migrate?
So currently, right now, you have the ability to unstake your whole bag. So as of right this minute, you can unstake. Well, actually, let me think. I've not personally interacted with the staking contract, so I'm trying to remember what my devs have said. I think that you do actually have to unstake your whole bag to get out of the contract, but somebody utilizing the staking contract would actually know that better than me. I've only personally tested the liquidity portion of the staking when we were having decimal issues. Dane, are you familiar at all with this?
I'm actually not a staker, man. To be honest with you guys, I haven't really touched staking myself. I always like to just hold my bags for no reason rather than put them in a staking pool and earn passive income. I'm just kind of slow in that realm. But yeah, so I'm not the one to ask, but I'll get back to the person after Shibtoshi speaks to his dev in the Telegram chat that asked that. It is a good question because I'm sure people want to maybe have both supplies. And don't want to unstake their whole bag. So I'll follow up with that to the person that asked in Telegram. So just stay patient with us and we'll get back to you.
Let me see if I got any of my devs online. Hey, Dog, I've just approved you to speak. Dog.
Nah, thanks, mate. Just got a good question for Shibtoshi. Just love everything you do, mate. I do believe in this project, and hopefully we're going to get some more people to get into it. Nobody asked you a question about our exchange. So we got any timeline when it's going to come, and hopefully that will help as well, eh?
Yeah, so, as you know, we don't really give timelines. As I previously updated the community, the exchange is in audit. It's not something, there's a lot of coding that's gone into the exchange, so can't really give a timeline on when the auditors will be done with the exchange audit, but as I had previously stated, I would feel most comfortable if the exchange at least has 2 audits, as the bridge will, before going live, and the mindset of, you know, every auditing company has a different way of auditing contracts and testing the front end, making sure everything is working flawlessly. And because of that, you know, we can't really give a timeline on that. The exchange is done. It is an audit. You know, outside of that, I don't really have much else to give on the exchange.
No, the problem. Thanks for the answer, mate. And yeah, hopefully we keep doing what we're doing, eh? I'm just always watching. And hopefully we get a bit more on Twitter, eh? I'm not a big fan of Telegram. I get a lot of scammers trying to annoy me, but yeah, hopefully we get bigger. And thanks for SquidGrow. He's doing a lot of work for us too, so I really appreciate it.
Hey, thank you for your question and your time. Joe, you want to pop on here since you just got a name shout out?
Yeah, hey, how's it going? Actually, I was waiting for him to finish talking. I just harvested earlier and staked it without unstaking my whole entire SquidGrow bag, so you can do it. Yeah. It's cool to see finally the Ethereum bridge, though. I mean, this is something that's, you know, people have been saying it wasn't going to happen, or, you know, the naysayers come in, they say, oh, what are you doing? No, that's not going to happen. They constantly do that, and they constantly move the goalposts. They constantly are doing this, and it's great when we're at this position where we're talking about it, we're talking about what's going to be happening, what's going to be going on, and all this stuff. Seeing Ethereum and BSC finally come together for SquidGrow is huge. Because it gives, you know, it helps those who have to watch for eyes, for those that want to do the arbitrage, which I think is really cool to help even out the price and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I'm really, really excited to see, you know, the future of this project. Obviously, I'm really, really focused on it. But yeah, no, I really, really like what I'm hearing, and, you know, everything happening, coming down the line. I mean, it's a lot. And in the red market, these are the times where everyone's running away. But this would be the time everyone's running too, because in the green market, everyone is finally running too. But, you know, they're buying at all-time highs, expecting to go even higher, when this is the best time to get involved in projects. Yeah, obviously not financial advice, but to get involved in projects that, you know, you believe in. You know, we have Mike Miller, you know, making these amazing NFTs. You know, the guy did amazing artwork with Injustice. I'm a big fan of that game, by the way, and the comics and whatnot. Even though they did my boy Shazam dirty, I still like Injustice. I think it's awesome. But it's just cool to see that we have like so many things happening in this project. And like I said, everyone's running away or focusing on other things. This is the best time to get involved, when everyone says you shouldn't be. Because when it's the green markets, everyone's asking you, did you get involved? And if you did it early, it's the answer's already yes. So yeah, no, like I said, I'm really excited about the future of this project.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, this is definitely
bro.
This is definitely the time to be building right now. So in that green market, we have, you know, major utilities already out there and live, and obviously that's going to attract, you know, new investors. They're going to be looking for something that's been around and proven itself. You know, not, you know, that's one of the great benefits to, you know, going to Ethereum right now. You know, especially doing the initial authoring to the Ethereum side. You know, instead of taking a chance and jumping into a brand new project that's not been around and it's debuting, you know, everybody has the opportunity to get in something that's already around, have an understanding of the direction that we are going, can see what we've already put out and the things that we have done. You know, I mean, you know, obviously, you know, it's a project that's not afraid to spend money on building in red markets. You know, Mike Miller, the ultra rare NFTs, you know, that's all big money that has been spent in a red market. You know, so I think it's greatly going to benefit us, you know, down the road.
Sorry about Shazam.
Say what?
It had to be Superman too, right? Like, it had to be specifically Superman that did him in. It couldn't be anyone else, but it had to be that one guy.
Billy.
So, does anybody have any questions about Ethereum, about the bridge? Questions related to the project? Anything in general they want to discuss?
Looks like we got Crypto Bro coming up here.
Okay.
And I'm going to peep at the Telegram again in a minute while he gets his floor. Twitter Spaces, man. Every time you approve someone, it's always like a 10-second delay before they can actually talk. It's so weird.
Hey, can you guys hear me? Hey,
Yes, sir.
Hey,
What's up,
how's
man?
it going?
Yeah.
Hey, I just wanted
How's it
to
going?
go back to that question that I think somebody asked in the TG in regards to the staking. So currently, you can unstake a portion of, like you can do a partial unstake. So I think somebody was asking, can you unstake just a little bit that you could then bridge that over to the ETH side? So currently, the way that staking works is you can actually unstake a portion of what you have staked today. So I think you already addressed, though, once you move that to the ETH side, you'd pay a 2% to stake that on the ETH side. But I just wanted to clear that up. I've done that before, so I just wanted to jump in and give that answer.
Hey, thank you for that. Yeah, yeah. So that's something that I don't have firsthand knowledge of. I know how it is designed to operate, but because I've not personally gone in there and tested that, I don't want to give misinformation on that. But thank you for giving us the answer.
Yep, absolutely. So thanks for all you guys are doing. Really appreciate the updates tonight, and just great to be part of such a fantastic project so early. So thank you for all your guys' hard work.
Thank you. Anything additionally, guys?
I see that it's a little quiet on Telegram, so that's good. We're getting through them. I'm sure this is a long recording, so hopefully people will be able to go back and listen to it. I think it's been pretty killer so far. There's so many different little subtleties that come up with something as big as this. So, we'll probably do more than one of these, of course. So it's no worries if people missed it.
Yeah, I have a question.
When Lambo?
Hello? Yeah, hello?
It's a funny question. I love that question.
I know, right? It's a good question. Always pops up once in a while. So no one asked, so I just thought of shooting that.
I haven't heard the win exchange question yet either, which is funny.
Yeah, I was definitely expecting. I was definitely expecting to hear some questions that I've not heard.
I have a question.
All right.
Yeah, Shib. Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing okay, man. How about yourself?
Yeah, it's the Canadian. Do you remember me?
Yeah, I remember. I've spoken to you.
How are you doing? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I just wanted to know. You mentioned that you're gonna remove the harvest button sometime in the future. Is that gonna be there for a while, or do you know when that's gonna be removed?
Well, it gets removed when I tell my devs to go ahead and move forward and remove it. As of now, we are working on bigger things currently, and we will obviously revisit that. But there's going to be some upgrades coming here soon to our swap and our front end. So I think it's safe to say that at that time, that change will be made.
Okay, I wanted to ask another question. Someone was saying that we might be getting this on Bybit. Is that still happening?
No, unfortunately, Dane helped me with this, but obviously we didn't win the deposit competition, and because of the lack of accounts that deposited and made trades, it's my understanding that we did not meet the 1,000 count.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Sorry.
Ardo.
I was just going to say, look, we had an arrangement with Bybit, and although that we didn't win the competition, there was like a secondary option for us to get a listing, and unfortunately later on, Bybit pulled out of that listing option. So that's kind of where we're at with that. Just being honest with the community.
Okay, thank you very much.
But in the same token, at the moment, there's a lot going on with exchanges, which is also why we've kind of shifted our focus a little bit. We're going to put most of our energy at the moment into these other things to build up the SquidGrow ecosystem, like, the Ethereum bridge. We've got the NFTs coming as well and the exchange. But I think, all of these things definitely happen for a reason. And maybe there was a reason that Bybit thing happened right before this huge market crash and, all this kind of shady stuff happening with centralized exchanges as well. I hope that answers your question, buddy.
Yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Chiptoshi, I really appreciate what you're doing for us.
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you for the appreciation and the acknowledgement.
Dane has just requested to speak again. He must have got kicked off. Are you there, Dane?
Yeah, my Wi-Fi dropped out, so I had to go on 4G. Apologies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I did. Can you hear me now, Ardo?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Sorry, I just muted my mic because whenever my mic is on and you're talking, there's really bad feedback. But I'll mute that now and let you go ahead.
All right. Well, we have anything additional, guys? Any questions?
Should I mention the whitelist for the Genesis collection?
Yes. Yeah, go ahead. We've talked to the community about that.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so when we finally do get around to the NFT collection for SquidGrow, which I think we should call SquidBro, but I'm not sure what we're doing. You can get whitelisted by owning a NFT from my Genesis collection from the Funky Monkey Frat House. That's right now. I'm offering SquidGrow Peeps half off, which is it's usually 2 ETH for a custom monkey. You can buy them off the floor, but it's like 1.2 ETH right now or something like that. But I'm doing it for 1 ETH, and that's a custom from me directly, so you can get a Mike Miller custom monkey and get whitelisted for when we do launch the Squid Bros.
Yep, something similar to what I have currently as my default picture. In addition to that, the project will be running its own whitelist campaign as well. The details will be announced, leading up to that event as well.
That's right. Satoshi rocks a Funky Monkey Frat House custom.
Yes, I do. Okay, guys. So we got anything else? Any other questions? If you do not want to dox your voice, you can drop a question in the Telegram.
All right, I've just approved you again, Dane. Well, we're coming up to 2 hours now. If there's any final questions, please ask to speak now.
Hey guys, sorry, my serious technical difficulties. Getting a little feedback too. Mike.
Was he asking me something?
Yeah, I couldn't hear him properly.
I think he was saying he was having mic difficulties.
Oh. I thought I was the difficulty.
All right. Well, it doesn't look like we have anyone else asking to speak at the moment. What do you think, Shib? Do you want to wrap it up there?
Yeah, let's go ahead and wrap it. Just a last call on questions. Anybody have any additional questions, any concerns, anything they'd like to discuss? Now's the time.
So someone just asked in the Telegram. They said they'll get on stage if they're sick. They want to know, will the info on the NFTs be announced on the Discord?
I'm reading the question right now.
Yeah, the info on the NFTs will definitely be announced on Discord, but it will also be announced, obviously, in Telegram and probably on Twitter as well. Like we're not going to just neglect to put the information in Telegram and just go 100% with Discord. We just mean that when we do get right into the midst of the NFT release, like a lot of things that happen in the NFT world happen on Discord. So, when we are actually running competitions from day to day for the NFTs, they will happen within the Discord. But leading up to it, definitely information will go out across kind of all platforms.
Dizzle, I hope you're feeling better, man. I'm sorry to see that you're sick right now.
Hey guys, apologies for those technical difficulties I was obviously having. Twitter Spaces attacked me 3 times. I had last heard RW talking about Bybit a little bit. Yeah, it was unfortunate how that worked out. We did get a ton of exposure from that, so it's still a win in my books. And the good news is we still are in contact with the reps from Bybit, and of course we'll look to get on there another path in the future. Can't say when. Obviously, the vote thing didn't go our way, but it's just a stepping stone for us, and we'll definitely be in contact with them and other tier ones as well. So no worries there if you're concerned about that. It's not the end of the road.
All right, guys. Well, with that being said, let's go ahead and wrap this up unless there's any final questions.
I just approved one last person, Darth Vader, maybe.
Okay. How's it going, Darth?
I'm good. You guys all right?
Yeah, how's it going, buddy?
Yeah, I'm all right. So I originally got in the space and on the ETH side, and the only reason I even got on Binance was for this project. So this is my first experience with BSC. So what is the process going to be for I've got stuff sitting on Bitmark. How am I going to get those tokens through your bridge to the Ethereum side?
You would have to transfer your tokens out of Bitmark to a Pancake wallet. Or when the time comes that we list our Ethereum token on the exchanges, you will be able to select which chain you'd like to withdraw in. And at that point, you'll have the option to withdraw in BEP20 or ERC20. Once the token is actually live on the exchange, it will have both options. But up until that is available on the exchange, you would have to withdraw from Bitmark to MetaMask or Trust Wallet, another wallet similar to that, and then utilize the bridge to get to ETH. If you'd like to participate in the swapping of BEP20 for ETH tokens, you can obviously partake in that, but again, you would have to get your tokens off of the exchange.
Okay. How does the bridge itself actually work? Do I just send my BSC tokens to it, and then
So essentially, we will have the bridge connected to the website. You will connect your wallet, and you will start the process of just sending tokens back to yourself. Essentially, you'll initiate the process going into the bridge. It will show you the amount of tokens that you will get on the opposite side, and your BSC tokens will stay on the BSC side of the bridge, and then the Ethereum side will send you Ethereum tokens back to your wallet.
Okay. So do I need to just like provide a ETH address for it to go to, or what?
No, it'll be the same address.
Okay.
So the address that you are sending now, obviously, you don't want to utilize the bridge if you were on an exchange, because an exchange is essentially its own bridge because you have the ability to swap between chains. But
Right.
assuming that you're on MetaMask or Trust Wallet, the tokens will go back to the origin address that initiated the transfer. So the bridge itself will then do a transaction and deposit the ETH tokens into your wallet. So you will only have to add the contract ID for the ETH side, and the
Okay.
tokens will eventually populate in your wallet.
Cool.
Yeah. It's a pretty straightforward. It's the OG way of bridging. So I mean, it's not overly complicated. So
Yeah.
pretty straightforward.
Yeah. I'm probably just leave my tokens in the BSC side, but I've got a bunch of stuff on Ethereum already. I can just buy on that side.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about the Ethereum chain myself. I'm just, it's nice to go to home turf. Originally, as I stated previously, we were going to do it the opposite way and launch on ETH first, and then eventually bridge to BSC. But we decided to do it the opposite way, and I mean, we've gained a lot of support and a lot of traction, and made a name for ourselves. So, pretty stoked about that. But this is the next phase of development and moving the project forward. It starts with this.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people like myself that had never even been on, BSC. So, they were not, I guess that a lot of them were not brave enough to, go through the process and buy the BSC tokens. So those guys that didn't make that venture, they'll, be able to ape in now.
I mean, I've got personal friends. I could not twist their arm to even get on BSC. And I'm like, it's my project, man. But, they have their own views, and, for the longest time, I never dabbled in BSC as well. I stuck to what I knew. But the bridge will also allow the opportunity for those that have never ventured into the ETH territory to take that dive. They'll be able to transfer the BSC tokens to the Ethereum side and make that move relatively easy. So I'm sure a lot of new investors will have the ability now to get their feet wet on that side and see what ETH is about.
Right. Yeah, I think this will be really good for the project, and I appreciate all the work you guys have put into it. And like I said yesterday, I appreciate you taking the time to explain all the bridge technicalities to us.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot easier to explain, on a voice call than it is trying to, put it in writing. But it's relatively straightforward, straightforward process. So, essentially, again, I've seen in the chat, people are wondering what happens to the tokens. So essentially, the tokens, are stuck in the bridge, and they're essentially out of circulation. They cannot be purchased. They're just in the bridge until somebody else does a function to call those tokens, and they will be given those tokens. So essentially, like this, Darth, if you transfer, and I'm just using you as an example because you're on. If you bridge from BSC to Ethereum with 1 trillion tokens, you'll be given your 1 trillion tokens on the opposite side. And at the same moment, if somebody's coming back across with 1 trillion tokens, you essentially swap bags. You'll get his, he'll get yours, and that's how it goes. But there will be an allocation of tokens already in the bridge, so it's not dependent on somebody coming back across the opposite direction. Their tokens will be stored in the bridge, so it will not matter if somebody's trying to go the opposite direction of you. It'll have no impact on your bridging experience. Okay, cool, guys. Darth, you got anything else you'd like to add?
Nah, I don't want to hold you up. We're good.
Okay, cool. All right, R-Dub Dane, we good to call it?
I think so, man. A good 2 hours. I think that's a perfect time to end it so people can play it back without feeling a little bit too scared to do so with how long you can get. Because we all know that Chip can go for like 8 hours in voice chats, and perhaps we'll do one of those again soon. But right now, we just want to get these technical questions kind of answered and addressed. At least start doing that, and get this announcement out that we are officially on the ETH path, and it won't be long now. We're just finalizing some details, getting some marketing ready, and we're gonna come out guns blazing.
Amen to that. I'm super excited.
Oh, I am too, man. It's where all the fun's been. I think personally, in closing, we have done we've traveled a very difficult path. Since inception of this project in July, basically end of June, July, when this thing started really taking off. We've had a bumpy road with what the market's done. With basically 3 capitulations on the less action-packed side. ETH has gotten a lot bigger projects on it, and I think that's because of the money that's already there. BSC has been sort of the Jeep playground, they call it. So we've kind of set the bar, I think, on BSC, but with that bar, it's a smaller bar than what you're seeing on ETH. So I'm excited to bring this energy over to their side and see what we can do.
And another, obviously the market's down right now, but what we've been able to achieve in this market condition is our liquidity market cap ratio is back up to almost 8%. Anybody that remembers the early days, the first time I ran a 1% buy competition, our market cap liquidity ratio fell from 7% to 2.5%, and that was the state of our liquidity ratio on our run up. So obviously, at the higher market cap prices, we were a lot less stable than we will be now. So even at this market cap, our liquidity is pretty fat. We're just under 8%. So, it's been beneficial, so, moving forward, we'll keep an eye on our liquidity market cap ratio. And as we previously stated, several hours after the conclusion of this Twitter space, we will be putting the buy tax back at 4%.
Alrighty. With that, should we close it?
Yeah, let's rock and roll, guys. Hey, thanks everybody for their time. I appreciate the questions. I know it is a Saturday night, and most probably have things that they'd like to be doing. But thank you for taking the time coming out. And shout out to Matt. I know he's not on, but I really appreciate him stopping by and speaking briefly. Mike Miller, thank you. SquidGrow Joe, Bad Anthony, all of my mods that are here. I appreciate you for your time. Bryant, what's up, buddy? I hope you're doing well. Actually, I'm going to approve Bryant real quick just to give some closing.
Good to hear from you guys.
And I don't have the slightest idea how to approve Bryant. Anybody want to help me with that?
Yeah, I'll sort it. Yeah, I've just approved you, Brian, if you want to talk now. Hello.
Everybody, fucking awesome having you to me, bro. So much info and everything. Amazing. I don't have a question per se myself, but you did mention a little bit ago that you had some questions that you thought you were going to get that you did not receive. Would you mind divulging maybe 1 or 2 of those if possible?
Dan, you want to take that?
I'll take one of them. Well, the funny one was I sort of touched on it already was the Win exchange. And I think that's sort of died down lately because everybody's kind of scared of exchanges lately. Obviously, I put out that statement the other day that nobody should be holding a giant amount of tokens on exchanges. So I think it's sort of like reverse Uno'd the let's go on all the exchanges warpath that we were on early on. But those will come again to answer the Win exchange question. No date given, but yeah, there's a few more, Shiv. I don't want to I don't want to ruin anything, man. I'll
Well,
let you.
I mean, I was just kind of expecting a little more questions about SGX, maybe the NFT collection, those are kind of, outside of the bridge and the Ethereum, those were kind of the questions that I was expecting to get. And we've kind of already touched on SGX. It is currently an audit. It's not one of the things that I will try to rush. And I do plan on doing a secondary audit on the exchange before it goes live, because obviously I have to ensure that it is secure. And, so that's just kind of one of the main things that I'm not in a hurry to rush. We don't have a timeline on it, nor have I given a date publicly to my investors on that, but everybody should know that it is coming. It is an audit, and we are progressing as fast as the auditing company can on that.
Cool. Thank you guys so much. I hope everyone has an awesome weekend. Awesome AMA. I really appreciate it. And I was actually got some really good information on the 2% for referring people. I wasn't aware that it was on Harvest. I really like that. That's really interesting.
Yeah, so I was looking into it for somebody else. Another whale had contacted me about it and sent me a screenshot, and essentially I was telling them that whoever you sent the referral code to obviously did not utilize your referral address because it would show. So I contacted one of my other whales who I know on a somewhat personal level, and he gave me the ins and outs on it, and it is upon Harvest. So you provide your referral address, the person that is utilizing that referral, when they harvest the rewards, you get your 2%.
Yeah, that was honestly super awesome. I appreciate the AMA, everybody. Have a good night.
Hey, take care, Bryant.
Bye.
Mike Miller, love your work, buddy.
All right, guys. Thank you for your time. Everybody for speaking. It's greatly appreciated. We got some good questions. As always, if you have additional questions, you can always drop them in the Telegram. If you choose to DM the team directly, please add us in the main TG so we know to look for those messages. Everybody have a safe weekend, and enjoy these discounted prices.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the compliments. Glad to be part of the team.
All right, everyone. Have a good night. I'm going to close it there.
Take care, guys.